NACA? Well, 1 year of remote learning. Can you believe it? A year ago at this time, I would never ever believe that we would have learned so much this past year and still be learning virtually. I will say the top 3 things that I learned this past year is number 1, before remote learning, I had never made a movie on iMovie. That means I've never edited, never made an announcement. Look at us now. Number 2, I've never been on Google Meet or Teams. That has been amazing to be able to connect with you. But the best thing is that I've learned is that you don't have to be in person to connect and learn and work and really get to know people, but that it is able to happen virtually. So I am so thankful that I have had the opportunity to be part of all of your lives as your principal. It's been so great to meet all of you as students and your families, and I'm so thankful for the amazing teachers and staff at NACA that I had never known before. So I'm so glad that hopefully we'll be friends forever after this, but I'm very thankful for those 3 things that I have learned during remote learning this year.
Hi NACA, this is Mrs. Burcham. I teach kindergarten for NACA. 3 things that I've learned this year are that those learning coaches are so important and are doing such a great job. We are very, very thankful for all of them. Also, I've learned that kindergartners are really good at problem solving with technology, and they stay calm and they can figure out a problem way better than I ever believed. Also, the biggest thing I learned is that those connections that we're making with each other are just as good as if we were in the classroom. It's surprising to me, but we've all gotten to know one another and we know how to work with each other and collaborate, and that is super awesome.
Hi NACA, my name is Mrs. Dixon and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers, and I'm here to tell you about 3 things that I have learned this year. The first thing I have learned is that it is possible to be able to have relationships and make connections and friendships virtually. It's true. In kindergarten, we're having such a great time together. We love to laugh. We love to be silly. We even love to tell jokes. Sometimes the kids in my class will even create jokes together to play a joke on me. And they are so funny, except when they play the what's behind you game and they tell me that there's a spider behind me. That one is not always so funny, but we do have a great time together, and I have loved being able to see those relationships grow. The second thing I learned this year is that it's true. Sometimes things don't work the way that you want them to, and that happens in school and that happens in life. But in kindergarten, we've learned that it's okay, because those opportunities give us a chance to practice our patience and to practice staying calm using our square breathing. It gives us a chance to persevere and be problem solvers and sometimes demonstrate flexibility. And those are some of life's most important lessons, and we've been learning them this year. The third thing that I have learned this year is that we have been able to be a part of something incredible this year. Some people around the world, they don't even realize that it's possible to have these meaningful and enriching opportunities virtually. And yet that's exactly what we're doing. So I'm so grateful for Mrs. Hudson and for all of the teachers and for the families and for the students. We all came together this year, and I'm so incredibly proud to be a part of NACA. Do you have memories from this year that you will remember in years to come? I know I do. That's a pretty special thing. Thanks, NACA. See you soon.
Hey there, my name is Mrs. Kiggins, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at NACA. Well, I have learned so many things this year, but I will try my hardest to keep it to 3. So number 1, I have learned to be thankful for even the little things, those little moments in our day that we're successful. Number 2, I have learned that kindergartners are able to adapt to even the most difficult of situations, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And number 3, I have learned that even on the hardest day, there is nowhere else that I would rather be than teaching kindergarten.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Rick, and I'm here to tell you the 3 things that I've learned this year in NACA. Number 1, that kindergartners are my heroes. Little did I realize how smart, creative, and just absolutely amazing kindergarten is. You are reading, writing, doing addition, subtraction, and building that classroom community online. You're the best kindergarten. Number 2, how important a good learning coach is. Without my amazing learning coaches, whether it be the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the moms, the dads, the daycare workers, thank you. You have made the difference, and together we have built a successful year. And number 3, flexibility. Those technology issues, they're enough to give me gray hair. We need to adapt to be flexible and know that it's okay. If we have a glitchy video, we pause and try again. I have learned so much here at NACA this year, and I am proud to be a teacher here.
Hi NACA, Mr. Castle, here are 3 things I've learned this year. I've learned to be clear with my directions, and that's online. We can still make connections, and I've found NACA kids are the best kids around.
Hi NACA. Here are 3 things that I've learned this year. Number 1, be flexible. Sometimes things happen that are out of our control, and we have to try something else. Number 2, never give up. If it doesn't work the first time, keep trying till you get it. And number 3, keep smiling. Sometimes laughter is the best medicine, and if we can laugh and make light of our troubles, it works out a lot better. Thanks.
Hi NACA, this is Mrs. Oliver here, and I just wanted to share 3 things that I have learned this year at NACA. The first one is to be flexible. Not everything is going to work the first time or at all, so we need to be flexible and we need to have a backup plan and know what to do in case that happens. So that has been the first thing I've learned. The second thing I've learned is even though we're in a virtual setting and we're not face-to-face, that we can still build friendships and connections and really get to know each other and get to know our interests and really be a part of a family. And number 3 is I have learned so many new ways to make learning fun and exciting, especially through using technology and through all of the different virtual resources and manipulatives that we've learned how to use this year.
Hello NACA, this is Mrs. Shook here, first grade teacher at NACA, and 3 things that I have learned this year include being very clear with directions, the importance of being flexible, especially with all of these wonderful new technology tools that we are learning, and most importantly, I've learned that we can have fun anywhere, whether we're in person or online together. First grade is the place for fun, and that's what we have in room 1D. Bye everybody!
Hi NACA, my name is Mrs. Bonenstanglin. I teach first grade. I've learned a lot this year. One thing I've learned is that a silly face can help kids be better listeners and keep them engaged. I've also learned that student whiteboards are a lifesaver. They show me what my students are learning and they help them participate. My class has also helped me grow this year. They've been so eager and willing to learn new things that's encouraged me to try new technology and try new ways of teaching. And I'm so glad that I've been able to do it with them.
Hi NACA, Mrs. Davipo here. 3 things that I've learned this year. Number 1, I have learned so much more about technology than I ever thought I could before. Number 2, teamwork makes the dream work. I have amazing colleagues on the first grade NACA team, and I couldn't have gotten through this year without them. Number 3, my students are way better at using the iPads than I am at this point. They know a lot.
Hi NACA, it's Mrs. Stolick and I teach 2C. I have learned so many things through this year together of cyber learning. I have learned to always back up your backup plan, especially with technology, and if all else fails, go with the flow and be flexible. I have learned how flexible and resilient my class is and how great they are at adapting to different challenges as we've done that together. I've learned that we can make our connections even through the screen. Even if we don't get to see each other face to face, we still know so much about each other, and we've learned together this year. And most importantly, I've learned that everything happens for a reason. In our class, we have students from all over North Allegheny, almost every elementary school, and I would have never had the privilege of being your teacher if we did not go on this experience together. I look forward to finishing this wonderful year with you. Bye, NACA.
Hi NACA, I'm a second grade teacher here at NACA. What a year we've had. 3 things that I've learned are how we can make connections online, me with my students and them with other classmates. I've learned the importance of flexibility. We know how important that has been for us here at NACA this year. And I've learned so much about technology in general, how to use it to help me teach, and how quick my students are with learning new technology. What a great year we've had, and I'm looking forward to a great rest of the year. Bye NACA!
Hi NACA, it's Mrs. Lewis here. So a couple things that I've learned through NACA this year. The first thing is to be flexible, that technology doesn't always work in our favor, so we have to learn to just be flexible and roll with it. I have learned that I work with some amazing people here at North Allegheny. My teammates this year are absolutely awesome, as well as all the colleagues that I have worked with throughout the year and sharing their ideas, and people are really creative, and I've learned a lot from them. I also learned that even though we are virtual, you can still have a lot of fun and get to know your kids really well and make some great connections with your students. Thanks.
Here are 3 things I have learned as a 3rd grade teacher in NACA. Number 1, the importance of being flexible. Number 2, we are all teachers. I have learned so much from my 3rd graders, and they've learned from each other. So I'm reminded to never stop learning. And finally, number 3, students are resilient. I am so proud of the countless ways that all of our NACA friends have adapted, tried new things, and kept a positive attitude.
Hi NACA. 3 things I've learned this year are, number 1, it is possible to build a connection with your students even though you were not learning together in the classroom. And number 2, I have learned so much about Google. A year ago, I did not know how to do a Google Meet or how to set up a breakout room or how to make a Google slide presentation, and now I can do it in my sleep. And number 3, NACA teachers can do anything. We had to learn how to teach a totally different way in a short amount of time, and we have come a long way. I am so thankful for my teammates and to my other NACA friends for helping me along the way.
Miss Garrity here. Here are the top 3 things that I've learned this year. Number 1, I've learned so much about technology, from Blackboard to Boom cards, all things Google, and of course, my math friends, our personal favorite, Blookit. Number 2, I've learned that technology is so amazing and gives us the ability to learn together no matter where in the world we are. And number 3, I've learned that NACA students are truly the best. You've become so flexible, strong communicators, and problem solvers, and I'm just so proud of all of the growth that we've made together.
Hi NACA, Miss Jukulski here from 3rd grade. I have learned so many things this virtual year, but my top 3 things are, number 1, that great, engaging, and exciting learning can truly happen anywhere. Second thing is that kids are resilient sponges that can just grow so amazingly fast. And third is that you can do anything with Google.
Hi, this is Miss Nelson, 3rd grade teacher here at NACA. I'm the teacher of 3H. And here are the 3 things that I've learned. I've learned how to use technology in so many different ways this year that it's unbelievable. I've grown leaps and bounds. I've also learned how much fun online learning can be. And in addition to that, I've learned to appreciate family, friends, students. I've learned to appreciate the simple things of life like paper towels and Clorox wipes. So thanks a lot and have a good spring.
What's going on, NACA? Mr. Gillis here. 3 things I've learned this year. I learned how to make some pretty cool and creative math games. I've learned that even in a virtual world, if you show kids that you care about them, those connections can happen. And I learned this year that NACA kids are awesome, hardworking, and just some of the most incredible kids I've ever worked with. in my entire life.
Hi, NACA. This is Mrs. Kieffer from 4th grade. The 3 things that I have learned this year, the first one is that you can make great connections with your friends and with your students and with your colleagues via the computer. The second thing is that I am so lucky to be able to spend every day with my favorite people. And the third thing that I have learned is just how awesome these students really are, being able to juggle Google Meets and Notability and all of the other things that they juggle at the same time. Every single day, my students amaze me.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Zott, and I'm one of the 4th grade teachers here at NACA, and I wanted to share 3 things that I've learned in this past year of remote learning. So one thing I learned is that we can still get to know one another and share our interests and make friends, even virtually. The second thing I learned is that collaboration is possible and lots of fun with remote learning, and breakout rooms have been so great throughout this year to learn how to collaborate with one another in those breakout rooms. And the third thing I learned is that our students here at North Allegheny and at NACA can do virtually anything that they set their minds to. I've been so amazed and proud of all of the wonderful things that you all have learned and accomplished over this past year.
3 things I learned in NACA. I learned how to make an online classroom in Blackboard. I learned that I like teaching social studies, and I learned new friends and faces all over the district this year. Thank you.
3 things I've learned this year. Number 1, you will say the word asynchronous every single day, multiple times a day, but you will still spell it incorrectly. Number 2, you can make a connection with students, co-teachers, colleagues on the computer. And number 3, invest in a second monitor.
Hi NACA, Ms. Janardhanan here. 3 things I've learned this year real quick. Number 1, teamwork makes the dream work. I have never been on a team of teachers more supportive, more incredible than I have this year, and it has made all the difference in the world. Number 2, my dog snores very, very loudly all day long. Number 3, at NACA, we have the world at our fingertips. Anything that you want to do with your students, you can figure out a way to do it. Technology is incredible. Thank you, NACA.
Hi, NACA. I am Mrs. Sullivan, and I teach 5th grade here at NACA. I am the teacher of 5B and Team Tiger. So I was asked, what are 3 things I have learned during my time here at NACA? Now, I have a huge laundry list, so I had to whittle it down. So number 1, our connections are strong. We connect in ways that I never thought were possible virtually, but we did it. We make so many awesome memories and have so many awesome connections every day. It's truly amazing, and it makes me feel really happy. Number 2, our tech skills, special shout out to 5th graders, are off the charts. Our technology might not always work the way we want it to, but the way we've been able to problem solve, to think critically, to help one another, it's amazing to see. So speaking of tech not always working the way we want it to, it happens. Something else, number 3, I've learned here at NACA is this. If plan A doesn't work, there's a plan B, and sometimes a C and D. So what we have to remember is what Mrs. Hudson taught us earlier this year. Breathe in the cookies. Thanks for such an awesome year and some wonderful memories and some amazing connections, NACA. Thank you to our students, and special shout out to our learning coaches. You rock.
Hi NACA, Ms. Stanko here. 3 things that I have learned while working at NACA is that it is possible to make connections virtually. So the same way we would make them in the classroom, we are able to build friendships and relationships virtually. The second thing I learned is that flexibility is key when working with technology. So sometimes our original plan doesn't work out, and we need to be flexible and move on to plan B. The third thing that I learned at NACA is that teamwork makes the dream work. Both with students and with teachers, if you work together as a team, it makes the job go a lot quicker, and it is a lot easier to do.
Hi NACA, it's Mrs. Greenwald from 5F. 3 things I've learned this year. Number 1, learning can happen in any environment. Number 2, Google Slides are definitely my jam. And number 3,
even though he has anywhere in the house to sleep, this guy's favorite spot is on my keyboard. Bye, NACA.
Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Hagerman, one of the art teachers here at NACA, and the 3 things that I've learned this past year are that it's important to read your emails thoroughly, how to edit videos like a pro, and I'm also working on learning how to use the iPad to create really cool digital artwork.
Hi NACA, it's Mrs. Tomzak. 3 things I learned this year. The first one is when someone says, "You're on mute." It makes us all laugh because we have all been there. The second thing that I learned is that our NACA students have grit. When there's a problem with iPads, they just take it on. They know to download the app from self-service. They know to reboot their iPad. They know to make sure it's on the latest and greatest software. Our students really have shown a lot of responsibility and grit this year. And I also love seeing how our students help each other. When there are problems, that the students help each other. And the third thing that I have learned this year is that we are a NACA family. And no matter whether that is a family where you see each other face to face or through the iPads or through the computers, we are still a family, and I have loved being with everyone this year.
Miss Hall here. Number 1, I learned a new magic trick. I learned how to change the color of my glasses. Number 2, I learned how to use new tech in the middle of a live session and be okay with that. And number 3, I learned how to make interactive games and use them in our asynchronous lessons. So I learned a lot this year.
Hey NACA, it's Mrs. Monahan. 3 things that I have learned this year. Well, first is that making music virtually can be done, even though it takes lots of creativity and patience. I've learned a lot about technology, and I've learned that teaching with a partner like Mrs. Freilich is so much fun.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Freilich here. The 3 things that I have learned this year at NACA are number 1, that we are resilient human beings that can accomplish anything. Number 2, that music is absolutely everywhere, and I've loved making it with you in your own homes this year. And number 3, what a gift it has been to share our experiences and our education with our family members at home. So I've seen all of us connect with our family members in ways that I just never imagined. So I hope that you all had a good year, and those are the 3 things that I have learned.
While teaching for NACA, I've learned how to record on Loom, like I am for this video, how to share my seat with a dog, he's always hiding behind me, and how to create a classroom in Blackboard.